Holy cameos and original sci-fi Batman, let's get into this. Alright guys, I got another movie review for you today, and we're going to be talking about the latest original sci-fi film to come out of Hollywood, and that is Kin. And Kin is about this little kid who stumbles across some alien technology, and as soon as he finds that technology, a bunch of baddies and a bunch of people are going to come looking for him and his brother because they want that technology and they want to have it under their control so they can essentially do their bad guy things. This movie was a very mixed bag for me, and I don't think that's necessarily in a good way, but let's get into it. So my positives for Kin, one thing right up front, I can say it is a very original sci-fi film, and it's one of the reasons why I think you guys should go see it, because when it comes to Kin, this movie, it's original in a way I can't talk about without spoiling the movie. So if you're a fan of original storytelling and you're a fan of sci-fi films, this is definitely a film for you. So in that aspect, go check it out. But also, I thought all the performances across the board, I thought they were pretty decent. Of course, there were some cliches in the movie and some of the dialogue was garbage. I'll get into the script in a minute, but yeah, the performances were pretty decent, and the CGI that they put in here, the action sequences, all of that was very cool, and I thought it was very uniquely told and I didn't remember seeing any shaky cam, if I can remember correctly. Other than that, guys, I appreciate the originality of Kin, but this movie is a piping hot mess. First of all, cameos on top of cameos on top of cameos of characters you thought were going to be important but didn't really mean squat. Imagine that we're watching Avengers Infinity War, right? And imagine the main characters in the film are Peter Parker and Tony Stark, but every other character in the film, the Guardians of the Galaxy, Black Widow, Captain America, Thanos. Imagine every other character is just a glorified cameo, except for Thanos, who shows up for probably 30 minutes of the movie. That's how jumbled all the characters and characterizations and character structure are in this movie. And it kind of left a sour note in my mouth. I've never seen so many characters brought onto screen to where I thought they were going to mean something, and ultimately they didn't really mean anything whatsoever. Also, the script. I said we were going to get into this, and we are. It's not that I thought the dialogue was pathetic and really poorly written and all that stuff. It was in some cases, but for the most part, I thought it was fine. The screenplay, though, the way this story is constructed, it's just a jumbled mess, and I wish it wasn't, because like I said, I enjoyed the originality of it, but for 70% of this movie, it didn't seem like the directors or the director or the screenwriter, it seemed like they were like, we've got an idea for about 5 different original sci-fi films, let's jumble them all together into one movie and see where we go from there. And it just did not pan out for me. I mean, the characterizations and how many characters come in that are pretty much useless to the plot, that is the tip of the iceberg when it comes to this. At a certain point, I had to wonder why the characters were jumping from place to place to place to place so often, and why we couldn't keep them in just one location for an extended period of time. I mean, the main character and his older brother, there was enough characterization there, and there are main characters that you could latch onto them, and that was good, but it's just a jumbled mess. And the ending of the movie. I'm not going to spoil it. And like I said, I do suggest going to see Kin because of the originality, that it's an original sci-fi to come out of Hollywood. I think in that respect, it is something that you should go see. But the fact of the matter is, the ending of this movie was the absolute worst part of it for me. The absolute worst part of it. And I'm not going to spoil that for you guys, but let's just say there is something that happened at the last, 10, 15 to 20 minutes of the movie that completely destroyed the rest of what I thought was going to be a good experience going in. And while I had a good experience up to that point, everything was just knocked down. It's like in V for Vendetta, where V flicks that set of dominoes. It's like that, except we get to the end of the movie and everything beforehand, my enjoyment of that was completely destroyed too. I am coming off a bit harsh. I realize that right up front. I realize I'm coming off more harsh than I probably should be, because like I said, there was enough in here, the original sci-fi aspect of it, and the performances, and a lot of the cool action set pieces, that I can bump this up a little bit, and I can still recommend that you go to see it. But just know going in that although I enjoyed it, you might not, because this film has a lot of problems to it. But at the end of the day, I will still say that Kin is a casual watch. And as always, guys, it is what you say that matters, so get that conversation in the comments section started. What did you think of Kin? Have you seen it, and did you like it, or did you despise it? Whatever those thoughts are, you know what to do. And of course, if you want to get in contact with me, all my social media links are up there. The Sweet Film Podcast that I do with my great friend Zach Pope is right over there. We dive deep in the movies, and the other reviews of 2018 that I have so far is right up in the top corner. So do yourself a favor, go check those out. And of course, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right there and subscribe and become part of the fray of nerds who love cinema. You all have a fantastic day.